started sewing things for my daughter because there wasn't anything else out there. I knew what I needed. I knew what I wanted it to look like. So I figured it out and I made it with my sewing machine. I wrote this pattern so that I could share that thing that I needed so much back in the day with anybody who needed it. You know, wheelchairs are all so different. They're so custom. Everybody's a different size. And this is a way that I can put something out there that helps people to stay warm, helps them get a coat that they need without trying to put a small, medium, or large on it. I made something that you can use to make something of your own. That you can make it yours, that you can make it fit, that you can make it warm or cool. So why this coat? Why this pattern? If after watching this video you think this might be a good fit for you, for your wheelchair, for your person, then I wanted to write a pattern that almost anybody could sew. But honestly, I've had this pattern up for sale for a while now, and nobody's ever gotten stuck on it. Nobody's ever called me and said, I just can't finish it. I got so frustrated, I just stopped. So I feel like if you're willing to try, then you'll be able to sew this pattern. As I talk to people, everybody has that person they know that sews. If it's not something that you feel like you can tackle, you know, you have an aunt, a grandma, that lady that lives down the street, there's always somebody around that you know that could sew this for you. You know, and then you could pick out your own fabric and give them this pattern and then be like, would you help me sew this? You know, you have that person in your life that's always wanting to help or wanting to do something for Christmas or a birthday or something, and you say, hey, well, I have this idea, I found this pattern, and boom, you've got somebody to sew it for you. I think either way is a win-win. Hey, it's early in the morning. Becca's here in her chair. She's got her drool cloth all ready to go and her waterproof seat cover. Other patterns you can find on our Etsy. We just wanted to show you today how to put the coats on. So I take the coat and I fold it in half. Bless you. With the inside out. And I line up the bottom with her toes. And I put it on her lap. This is the top. Here's the hood right here. And then I can reach under and pull her legs forward. And tuck. And tuck. And tuck. And then come up here to the top. I'll leave one of these up and one of these down because I do it both ways for shoulder retractors. When I go for the hood, you can slide it right under, and on the other side, sometimes I do it while they're already down and I just pull it underneath. I have done it over, but seat belts are good to go under these, so I like to do it under the retractors. And then, just tucking each side, I like to pull this bottom part back, cover all the way to the back there, and then I tuck it under her arm. And the same on the other side. Hey, I know this is hard to see, but I wanted to show you what I do for a pocket on the inside for feet. This is Becca's coat. I know this fleece is kind of patterned and it's hard to see. But before I sew the two layers together, on the inside layer, this one is fleece and it has some light neoprene waterproof on the outside and it has batting in between. And before I sew all the layers together, on the fleece side, I made a little pocket. So this is about 18 inches by 18 inches or so. And then I make a little casing at the top and put a little bit of elastic just to kind of hug the legs. And then I just sew this on. Mine has two seams for strength. And then I just sew it on flat as if the elastic were stretched out. And then the elastic will pull it back in a little bit. And I'll show you how that works when you're putting on the coat. So here we have folded inside out. Now I come up here and I scoop up her feet. pocket, and then I put it on her lap like this. Give this little tug so that her toes aren't scooped up. And then tuck in her calves. Pull up the head. That was a pretty smile. Thank you. Go back under the retractor. There you go. A couple of features that I really love about doing the coat this way is that there's no blanket that hangs down and gets caught in the wheels. It's all very tucked in and keeping those legs warm. And you can tuck right here. It's extremely adaptable because anything you have under here, everybody's chair is different. Our tractors and the side ones, and everything's a little bit different. But this is able to be, tucked around and stay loose around medical equipment and things that need to be adapted for it. The back, some ponchos have a ton of fabric back here, and if you sit forward in your chair, that could be nice, but when you're sitting back with retractors and things, it's better if there's not a ton of fabric because she's kind of, strapped to that chair. So I like that it doesn't have a lot of fabric back here. It still covers everything and keeps the cold out. You can tuck it down behind her shoulder, but it does what it needs to do without all of that extra fabric. Thanks for watching. I hope this helped you visualize some of my patterns, and especially my pattern for a wheelchair coat. Check out beckabug.com. The link to the pattern is in the description. Have a great day and happy sewing!